In my previous channel, that is long gone now, starting life over, starting a new channel, I built this guy about a year ago. This is my 1998 Daihatsu Midget 2. This was the original parts van for the Kawasaki Corporation in Japan. The factory where they built the motors, the motorcycles, all that in Japan. They used this as a parts runner. I won this vehicle on a Japanese auction, paid way too much, but to break it down for you, came in with a bad transmission and I've done a full rebuild on this. As the plate suggests, I did swap the engine because I couldn't find a transmission, didn't want to deal with it. So we currently have a Kawasaki Ninja 650R engine in there that is professionally tuned by our friends over at More Mafia, making somewhere over 70 horsepower. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you put into factors that this is nothing more than a street legal golf cart, 70 plus horsepower in a golf cart is insane. We are questing for 100 miles an hour in this vehicle. I think we're gonna get really close, and I've already seen over 80 and it is terrifying. Motor is mounted under the seat just like standard with a drive shaft adapter going to our MG Midget style drive shaft, safety loop, etc. This thing is done extremely clean, beautiful install, professional as I could make it swap. As you saw, the gauges, everything, I've tied all the electronics into the van as well, as far as turn signals, high beams, everything. This is a clean swap. First rendition of the van, we used the stock rear axle out of the Daihatsu. Not knowing what gear ratio came in it for sure, we just went ahead and left the stock one in there to see what it would do. Well, it turns out the stock gear ratio in that guy was something like 6.2. This is our stock rear axle. It was so high that our top speed after putting that axle in was somewhere, we were cruising about 35 miles an hour with a 50-ish mile an hour top speed and the ability to do wheelies in the first 3 gears. Not good enough. So what I did was go out, do measurements on rear ends and all that. Since we were running a MG Midget drive shaft in this, it was no-brainer to go with an MG rear end. This is the rear axle that's going in my Alto Works project over winter, but this is the same rear axle build I did on the van. MG Midget wire wheel housing. The wire wheel housing is narrower with standard length bolt-on wheel axles. Cut the axles to fit the housing. Then the center section, cut off all the mounts, weld on our own mounts, rebuild everything, new brakes, new everything. That's what we currently have under the van now. Now the MG Midget was offered with several different gear ratios. Most common that you can find is the 422 gear ratio, which is what's in the van currently. And we are seeing a top speed with the 422 gearing at 82 miles an hour, around 50, 55 safely. You could cruise that. I've cruised that for hours on end on the freeway going to car shows. I would like to get my cruising speed up to the 60s, so it's a little bit safer on the freeway, and that's where the center section comes in that you just saw me clean. I have been looking for, they made a 350 center section. That is the one I want. It is as elusive as hen's teeth. It does not come up for sale. If you find one, it's worth its weight in gold. The best I could do is a 370. 370 gear ratio, just as hard to come by. People do not sell these things. They want that highway cruising gear in the back of their MG Midgets and their race cars. I was lucky enough to find this beautiful center section 370 gear set, about $700 from the UK to my door. It's in really nice shape. It's actually in way cleaner condition than the one I had to rebuild and put under there now. Other than the motor swap, we had to order a lift kit for a Japanese mini truck. I forget which mini truck I found that it worked, but I ordered a lift kit for a Japanese mini truck and imported that from Japan. Springs in the front, blocks in the rear, all custom for the axle and whatnot. That is because that engine is damn near on the ground. Our lowest point right there, that's our oil pump, or our oil pan. So we wanted as much ground clearance as possible. Probably got 5-6 inches there. I've had no problems, knock on wood. Doing wheelies, just driving normally. I have not touched that oil pan, so I think we're good there. I've had months into setting the suspension up on this, getting everything dialed. She is good to go. Our wheel and tire setup, we are on stock size Midget 2 tires imported from Japan. Our wheels, 10-inch Mini Cooper original wheels, like racing wheels. He made these to spec for me with my bolt pattern on them. We had to adapt the rear and do all that originally for the first axle. Strangely enough, the new axle that we have under there now is the correct bolt pattern for the original Mini Cooper, because MG Midget and Rover Mini share the same bolt pattern. It's the same car basically, but fitment is absolutely dialed, front and rear. Car is everything I want it to be. The only thing we're missing is higher freeway speed. So in our quest for 100 miles an hour, I'm just gonna dive right into it. We're gonna pull the wheels, pull the spacers, slip the axles out a little bit, pull the center section. We're gonna put in our new 370 center section, seal everything up. Check out the rear universal, because I wanna tweak that a little bit, and I wanna put on a new coupler. The way you mount a motorcycle engine to a drive shaft, unless it's a shaft drive motorcycle like our 1100 engine here, already shaft driven, you take the sprocket off and you get yourself one of these dirt track adapters in the correct size, and this goes on and adapts it to fit a drive shaft. This is the weakest link on the driveline system. Being aluminum, it's supposed to fail before everything else. I've got about 500 miles on the one that's in there currently. You do have to destroy them to take them off, and these things are not cheap at about $120 a piece. We're gonna destroy that one taking it off. I want to inspect it and see how much wear it's getting on the teeth. I don't think it should be that bad, being that it's 10-inch wheels, open differential, and under 100 horsepower. But we're going to get that one off. Get this one modified to fit, because these don't bolt on. Usually you have to modify them. We're gonna modify this one to fit, put on a fresh one, button it up, and we're gonna go see how close we can get to 100 mile an hour. Daihatsu, where is it? Daihatsu Midget 2. That's still technically a K car, kind of. It's only 650 cc's. Let's get after it. everything out now. We can take a look here at our old differential, and we have the numbers 938. So 38 divided by 9 equals, that gives us our 422 gear ratio in here. And then of course our 370 gear ratio in our new set. Went ahead and pulled the drive shaft. Everything looks good. It is getting close to bottoming out at full compression, but I still got about 5 to 10 millimeters before it bottoms out, because it's stopping right about here, and then I have full compression takes me up to about there. So we're not bottoming out, but it is close. I'll keep an eye on it, but like I said, I've got several hundred miles on this, wheelies, road trips, extreme driving, and we have yet to bottom this shaft out, so I think we'll be okay. Luckily, I did not destroy our old coupler taking it off. It's just very dirty. You can see the slight height difference. That a couple of millimeters is a big deal. I went ahead and had to shave the original one down to make the splines fit perfectly. After several hundred miles, our teeth are beautiful. There is zero sign of wear on any of those teeth. I'm going to put that old one right back in, and I got sent the wrong size new one anyway, so you can see that's a lot bigger than that one. I'll have to order a spare in the correct size, but nothing wrong with that. Throw it back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and button all this back up, reverse everything you just saw, put it all back together, and get that emergency brake figured out. Probably have to make a little bracket or something, no big deal. Parking brake more than anything. And yeah, I'll see you guys here in a couple hours. We're gonna go for a drive and see what we got. Okay, drive shaft done, differential in, everything gasketed. I just ran out of time. I did not have enough time to get the parking brake all sorted. That's gonna take some fabrication. I'll do that at a later date off camera. You guys don't need to see that. Just leaving it first when I park, but we're good to go. Drive line on this thing is not even close to balanced, so should be a wild ride. Yeah, I'm just gonna cruise around, let that fluid get in the differential, let that brake in a little bit, and go see what this old girl can do. Check engine light, that's in the gauges. These gauges are not original to the engine, it's just something I found secondhand. But I gotta scan that and flash it, turn it off. The motor and everything's already been tuned. ECU's tuned. She good to go. Oh yeah, already I can notice a difference just pulling away. Definitely needs more throttle to pull away. I'm gonna switch to my cell phone here. It cancels noise better. RPMs are already way better. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm cruising at 40 in fourth. That was fifth gear. All right, I'm gonna do some driving around and I'll be back to you guys. really trying, windows down, uphill, everything against me. About 90 miles an hour. Not too far off our 100 goal. I'm not disappointed with that at all. We'll give it another shot here with the windows up and see what it can do, but I'm definitely not disappointed with that. Chamber in here, I apologize. 97 miles an hour. I'll talk to you guys when I stop. Close. Whoo-wee. Did we hit our triple digits? Technically, no, but that is a GPS speedometer. It is as accurate gets. On a normal speedometer, if the bike speedometer was working in there, a normal BS speedometer, like a normal gauge cluster, that's 100 miles an hour. On our GPS speedo, we redline at 97. It does have more power. I guarantee we could see triple digits. It would require maybe a taller tire. Not available. Those are the only street legal tires you can really get in a 10-inch platform that tall, and they are for that van from Japan, and they are not cheap to get imported. Does it need more power? No. It still is able to lift at least one front tire. If you go hard first to second shifts at like 10,000 RPMs, it will pull the front of that van up. No problem. I couldn't show you guys, but it does, trust me. It's quick. At right around 1,000 pounds, 70 horsepower, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm telling you, that is a 70 horsepower golf cart. That is the closest I will ever get to doing 100 miles an hour in a golf cart. It is sketchy. It's a brick. There are no aerodynamics there. That is a 100 mile an hour brick. Answer a couple questions I get all the time. Why did I choose a 2-cylinder motor instead of going with like a 4-cylinder 600 motor or something like that? There's absolutely no space. If you're doing this at home, there is no space. I had to do so much custom work to the engine cradle on that, bringing it up and everything else. There is no possible way you will ever get anything bigger than that in that van in a stock engine location. You could chop it up to holy hell and throw a V8 in there if you wanted to, but to keep it stock, it is what it is. You're never getting anything more than that in. Like I was showing you guys, it's pretty low to the ground, even with a 2-inch lift kit on it. It's low. The only other things I'd like to do to it, I gotta get that e-brake hooked up. I'll get that done here in the next couple days. I would like to hook up the clutch safety switch. I did, when I built the clutch pedal, I did include a safety switch in there. I just have to grab the wiring from the harness and wire that real fast. This thing is loaded with hundreds upon hundreds of dollars worth of sound deadening in the doors and in the whole cargo area, and it still echoes like crazy. So I'm gonna have to get more sound deadening. I'd like to sound deaden everything in here because it is loud on the inside. Outside it's pretty quiet. It's got a full exhaust system, huge resonator going back to a muffler with tips. It's a full system. It's actually very cool looking. It's a 2-to-1. If you take this panel off, you just see two stainless headers right here. It's really nice looking. Yeah, I'd like to sound deaden, clutch wired, and that's pretty much it. This is as good as it gets. This is 2 years worth of progress, and I am almost to the end of it, where I can just winterize this thing, put it away, and it'll be ready for next spring. And I can concentrate on the Alto over winter here. There is a good part of me that wants to throw that thing on a trailer and haul it to Import Alliance down in Kentucky at the end of October. It'll be a birthday gift to myself, but I think I'm gonna, I don't even know if I'm going. I already got the hotel, I've already got it figured out, but I really don't know if I'm going. If I do go, I'll just maybe drive my daily, but I might drag this down there so you guys might see it. But yeah, 100 mile an hour, perfect motorcycle swap on a Daihatsu Midget 2. One of the coolest Midget 2s in the world and one of the best candidates for that swap. How much cooler could you get than the parts van for Kawasaki, making it from, it took like four plus islands that had to go through just to get it to the United States. All that to bring it here and then throw a Kawasaki bike engine into it. It doesn't get any much cooler than that. That's dream stuff right there, dream come true. Will I go for the 100 miles an hour, GPS verified? I don't know. If one of those 350 gear sets pops up, that's enough to do it. It'll get me like 101, 102 red line. But is it worth, they go for about $1,500 to $2,500 for that center section, and when they do pop up, if they pop up. I don't know if it's worth $2,000 to me to hit that triple digit. I think 97's just fine. We'll call it 100. Thanks for checking it out. I love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, have a good one.